Hi folks, my name is Russ Anber and I've spent 38 years in the boxing industry in many facets. The one thing I'd like to talk to you about, which seems to have some misconceptions lately on the design and style of the way we're making gloves, or the way the boxing industry is perceiving that gloves are being made, is weight. And we keep going back to this, and coaches keep telling their students, you have to get a glove that's 14 ounces or 16 ounces or 18 ounces. And I'm starting to have a little bit of a problem with that, because what's happening now with the way gloves are being made, with foams that are being used, which are so light, we're unable to actually achieve the weight without doctoring it in some way to make it weigh that so it so-called falls into the norm of what we expect. And I think that's a little bit problematic. Back in the old days, 100 years ago, when they made gloves, they needed to come up with a way that they could be consistent in the weight of the glove. So what they would do is, and in those days, gloves were made with pure horsehair. So what they would do is they would always weigh a certain amount of horsehair that would always fit in the certain pattern of glove, and they knew that that's how they would keep their consistency. As times have changed and products and foams have evolved, that kind of got pushed to the wayside. So now, the same construction of a glove fitting in the same size compartment now doesn't necessarily weigh 8 ounces or 10 ounces or 12 ounces. So we have to compensate. And what companies do is they start inserting, different rubber patches into the cuff area or into the inside or into the back of the hand to give it weight. And that kind of is where it defeats the purpose. And that's something that I'm very concerned about. And I don't like that, in that we're so focused on weight being an issue. The most important thing you have to worry about is the padding of the glove. That's the safest and most important thing you have to be concerned with. What kind of padding do you have in your glove? Now, the perfect example I could give you on why that's so important is, if we agree that a 175-pound professional world-ranked contender would be wearing a 16-ounce glove to spar with, what should an 80 or 90-pound 11 or 12-year-old weigh? Now, it's impossible to say he would wear a 14-ounce glove, because how could you put a 16-ounce glove on a guy who weighs 175 pounds and a 14-ounce glove on a child? So the important thing is that you have to remember, especially with kids, the mass weight of the glove is so dangerous that it's probably less secure than if you were just using a regular 10-ounce glove with good padding. You don't have to worry about the weight. The most important thing is to have the proper padding and let them use their boxing skills properly. Don't be so focused on the weight of the glove.